Geez, we are moving through tonight faster than I could ever expect. And I mean, what's that? A 7-2 and a 7-1, Guz. This is just, surely we're not going to continue to see this trend.
Yeah, I don't really have much to comment on that. Just got shushed by the producer leading in, so I'm just up and about, keen for the final two matches of the night.
Please just no more talking from you. But Vast, I will hear from you because this matchup, this one is, you know, this is the one of the cards that we start to book in at the start of the stage. It's Bliss and it's Knights. It's the match of the day, and there's no doubt that this is going to be a bit of a filthy one.
Oh yeah, it's definitely going to be a filthy one. But I guess it's important to note that this game will kind of, you know, whoever wins this game will actually secure that second position.
Yep.
As these teams are, you know, 3 points away from each other. So pretty important win for both teams to really solidify their spot for playoffs.
I guess that is something that we need to be mindful of, is the fact that, you know, Knights had to make that run from 5th place all the way through. I think they ended up coming 3rd, Guz. So definitely the higher they can finish in this stage, the better that they will be.
Yeah, this is an exciting matchup. The Knights, again, in OCN, yeah, their form is always a little bit iffy, but they're in pretty good state at the moment. A win tonight would probably get them close to confirming a playoff position, I can only assume. So, yeah. Not the biggest matchup they've ever played in, but still an important one.
When we look at this roster, do you have anyone that you'd like to highlight, Vast? Anyone that we really need to be looking out for heading into this match?
I mean, usually we'd probably say Hayward or Josh, but I don't know. I'm just a really big Juicy fan. I just think for his roles, like, he's really, he's got a good eye for, like, looking out for, you know, holes and making plays. And I think, yeah, just for his roles and the way he makes plays, he's you know, a really incredible player. He's deadly on the smoke. Yeah. I think he's a player, when he's stepping up, you know, the Knights just look really good. Yeah,
no, that's fair enough. Well, let's have a look at their opponents, Bliss, a team that continues to show us what they're really made of. Geez, Dino was really having it in there, whatever he was saying. I don't want to be on the receiving end of that, nor would I want to be on the receiving end of a team like Bliss, Guz, because they are really on a tear. God, I just can't take Spruce serious down the bottom there.
Yeah, Spruce, the Moose, as he loves to be called, has actually been, surprisingly, a pretty valuable asset to this roster. We've been hearing some pretty kind words from Oda in some of the interviews that he actually has helped the team quite a bit, which is great to hear. Support staff can really aid in really developing a team, so that's good to hear. Heading into this play day, Bliss find themselves in 2nd position. And again, much like the Knights, a win here would all but confirm a playoff position for them. So a big matchup. We know they're great at best of ones, and this is another great test for them.
I mean, do you think that there is, like, well, where do you think this goes, Fast, right? Because this matchup, it really, like, we do expect Bliss being the king of best of ones. I don't know who started titling that, but I'm already sick of it. But they are one of the better teams when it does come to the regular stage. So is this where they kind of thrive against Knights?
Yeah, I would think so. Just, you know, their play style, you know, they have a lot of things going for them. I mean, I hate to keep bringing it up, but I think that, you know, the fact that a lot of these, you know, Chiefs and Knights having to, you know, manage playing in 2 leagues and, you know, facing a bit of consistency issues and whatnot, it does give Bliss an advantage. With that being said, though, the way Bliss played against Chiefs, you know, I don't want to take that away from them. You know, they completely outplayed them and in every regard played so much better than them. But I think they slightly do have that less pressure, so it kind of gives them a slight advantage, not a big one, a slight one.
Yeah, well, don't forget, at home, this is the match of the day. We've got a $50 M-Wave gift voucher to hand out, but you have to be over on twitch.tv/Rainbow6ANZ. Make sure you jump over there. You'll find out how to enter in the coming minutes, more so the coming rounds, I guess, once we get into it, Guz. But we will go to the vetoes and have a look where we're heading, because that's probably the more important factor of all of this. We go to Villa. Thoughts on this one? I see a little puckered lips on both here, but Guz, I'll let you go first.
Yeah, Bliss, a flawless record, 2-0. Knights, not as strong, 2-5. We haven't seen these teams go head-to-head on this map, so again, we're going in blind. In fact, it feels like a lot of these head-to-heads tonight, they've never actually played on this map before, so not entirely sure what to expect. I'm sure Vast can comment more on the veto itself, but yeah, Villa, I don't think really favours either team massively. It's not like some of the other matches tonight, right, where we've kind of flagged one team as being the Clubhouse Kings, for example.
Yeah, fast.
Yeah, I mean, you know, Knights, they kind of stick with the same 3 bands. It's always Chalet, Bank, and generally it's Clubhouse, but today was Cafe. So, you know, this video is kind of quite predictable. I mean, I kind of thought it was going to go to Oregon Villa. I think both of these maps do favor both teams, but I just think Bliss's Villa recently has just been just deadly. Just their aggression and just how comfortable they look on the map and how in sync they look. We saw a lot of their late game executes just perfectly timed. You know, I just think this map kind of slightly benefits Bliss, in my opinion.
Okay, interesting. Well, I'll give you the floor here for your prediction. What are we thinking? Are we thinking another 7-1 for Bliss, or are we going to be going a bit tighter?
I'm going to be honest, I honestly forgot who I originally predicted with this game. I mean, it's such a close game. I think Bliss will win.
Yeah.
Probably, I'm going to say a 7-3.
7-3. Okay, that sounds pretty
I hear
convincing.
it calling to me. I hear this. I can see the 7-3.
Jeez, okay, settled. You know what? Let's get this bloke off our screen.
I'm going to get humbled out. I did this the other day with my predictions and I got humbled out quick. So
you'll be humbled out quicker than you expect. We've got a 7-3 prediction from Vast. Clip that, because I'm telling you what, it'll come back to haunt him. Knights and Bliss, one of the matchups of the stage that we always look forward to most. We head to Villa, which, guys, you think is a bit more familiar territory. Well, not so much familiar, but more of a middle ground for both.
Yeah, but I don't know. Vast has put forward a pretty convincing argument, right? Guess what the last 2 maps Bliss played and won were? Villa.
Clubhouse? Ah, damn.
Villa. 7-4 Chiefs, 7-3 overt. I completely discounted that, to be completely honest. So.
What? It's the French villain's bloody birthday, Repix. Woo. Oh no, that's not a good sign for Knights. You don't want Bliss having any excuse to play better than what they already do.
Yeah, I think he turned 19 today, I saw on Twitter. So yeah, happy birthday, Repix. Hopefully you get that birthday dub on the board. Bliss nerfing themselves, taking Yana off on the entry. So that's already a spicy start. Thatcher not too unsurprising. Bliss to follow up on the defense with a mute ban. So trying to potentially facilitate some of those extensions and roams. Yeah. As for the Knights, I'd expect a Mirror or a Valk, as the stats would allude to.
Clash. Do it. Damn it. Malusi.
Oh, okay.
Interesting.
Wow. Right.
I guess Malusi has quite a high function on this map, so go for it. Go for gold while you've got it, and maybe that might start to hinder Bliss a little bit more. One thing I saw when we were looking at the attack ban operators for Villa was the fact that Nook has actually been banned, I think once it was, which does surprise me because we also see Nook played quite a bit on Villa. So I'm curious to see if either team decide to kind of lean into that. That lurk can be quite devastating, especially when you've got absolutely no idea who's there. So let's get underway with the proceedings. AVG starting out here for the Knights.
Couple of exciting operators already being brought out here on the attack that we haven't seen at all tonight. I was going to say Jackal from Jigsaw and the Twitch from Shade. Eventually ends up being a 6-pick to IQ, which again we haven't seen her brought out either. So some exciting stuff. I'm also keen to see if Shade's running the Order skin or not, which recently got released. So if you want to cop that, if you feel so inclined, go do so. HP Omen community vote though. I'll steal that off you, Rob. 65%. In favor of Bliss. Probably not as close as I would expect. Seems pretty lopsided.
It certainly feels it. It does, but also, guys, you know, this is the biggest problem with OCN sometimes is like it's so hard to know what Knights is going to rock up in the server. Like, and especially with Bliss, who let's just be completely honest and candid. Bliss have been really consistent over, I would definitely say stage 2 and 3. I can't remember back to stage 1 far enough, but certainly they have shown such great consistency and just this ability to really put the pressure to some of the best teams in the region. So I guess the 65% is warranted, although it still doesn't surprise you if Knights come out of the gates and just 7-0 them. Let's say that outright, but let's wait and see how they decide to attack here, Team Bliss, as Knights have already well and truly prepped.
Do you want a Xenox fun fact?
Oh, give me the Xenox
Last
fun
3
fact.
times Knights have played this map, the score's been 7-1. Twice against them, once in favor.
Oh, I love that.
It's
I
pretty wild.
love that.
The 2 losses were against Chiefs and Order. I remember casting.
I would It's so
That was
real.
nutty. That was nutty. Chiefs in order, and then they got the victory over the line against Wildcard. So who knows? Maybe we could be in store for another one.
Yeah. Why break the trend? It's all too enjoyable. Maybe not for them. Maybe
Another
not for
speed
them.
run. Maybe they'll go for the record of fastest map. Try and beat it.
Honestly, let's go. Like I'm here for that tonight. I'm here for a quick night. We have had some shockers in recent OCN nights. We've been here till like 1 a.m. some nights. So, you know what? I wouldn't be mad, guys.
Juicy though over towards Brown, looking to slow down round number 1. Dino taken Jigsaw down. I was going to say taken down, but no, he gets the kill. 5v3 now, Knights with the advantage.
7-1's on the agenda at the moment. I'll tell you what, Knight's coming out with a... Oh, damn it. Juicy, you had to ruin that storyline in there, but that's okay. Repix, birthday man, find his first kill of the round. As they oh my god, no. We've seen this storyline 100 times over. I'm not ready for it. I am not.
Scary stuff. Repix looking switched on in round number 1. And that stabilizes the round. Minute to go. 6 alive. 3 from each team. Repix looking to create a line of sight now. Looking in towards the objective. Down the line into Vault. Shade crouches up. Maybe he can find the advantage.
Don't mind that from Shade. You know that sometimes players like to just sit a little bit cheekily in Aviator there. Just behind that reinforced wall. Repix now got to be careful. 2 players he's got to deal with. 1 behind bar, 1 in Vault, but neither are peeking him. And it looks like it is going to be a push directly into games. We've got to be careful as the time is starting to tick low here, guys.
Oh, Nitro to kick things off though. Josh on to Repix. The Danger Man shut down. Oda still needs to enter this dangerous cross, however. And now it's even more deadly. Hits the shoulder of Sage, not enough to find the kill. And now he needs to check every goddamn angle in both of these OBJs. His presence now made in sight, but immediately sniffed out by the Knights.
Started off well for the Knights. Repix rebounds. Knights shut it out. That's what we like to see. That's the kind of Knights we want to see turn up to the server, and they have to, because Bliss, given any opportunity, any world, they will well and truly slap you back to whence you came. I hate Hayward there. That's just... I mean, I know he's already pre-aiming it. Maybe I overreact a little bit, but, you know. It's one of the few pleasures that I have in this life, guys. You know, overreacting to... Don't. Let's not start this, shall we? Just overreacting.
I wasn't even thinking that.
Thinking what, guys?
I was gonna...
Thinking what? This is a family-friendly show. What are you thinking?
You're the one with your head in the gutter. I was just gonna make some joke about, like, I don't know.
Oh, yeah. Oh, now you don't know. Oh, yeah. I was just going to make a joke. Oh, yeah. Oh, I'm so innocent. I'm guys.
God,
this
I'm
night
glad
isn't-
this is going to be a quick night. The quicker this night goes, the less of a chance we are of losing our jobs. So I'm all for it.
All fun and games. All fun and games. Raven, please keep us.
Am I going to strongly word an email after tonight?
There'll be a good chance of it. No, hey, it's been relatively calm. I think we've handled ourselves quite professionally, and that's all that matters. But really, for me, it's about Knights' professionalism now, because we have seen Knights get off to an absolute gun-ho start in multiple games recently. You know, sometimes we see them get out to a 3-0 strong start, and then all of a sudden something flicks. Something flicks, and guys, you know it's the 1v5. You know it's the 1v5 that doesn't do it.
I tell you what, if Knights lose another 5v1 in this game, it won't happen, surely not.
No.
Don't want to curse it.
Foreshadowing it.
Oh,
Yep. You're doing
no,
it.
there's no way.
Some of the great cinematic producers of the past, mate. You're channeling them there. I'm telling you, it's going to happen. The worst part is, of all the teams that they play against.
Okay, whoa, sorry to interrupt. Shade doing a really good
Always.
job there, right? Takes down the default in Astro, and I think he popped that second mirror. Keep in mind, Twitch got the buff. It now has, I think, infinite range on the drone, and yeah, it's been taken out. The canister there, so that's pretty big there. That's a nice little play.
Guys, always shut me up, please. You know what happens when we start to waffle. I'm not talking the kind that you get at a roadhouse, you know? It's not good. God, this is unreal from Shade and Mandy. I tell you what, doing a phenomenal job catching all of this. Oh, Shade, doing them dirty.
Yellow ping as well, so they know that there's a play on this wall, and honestly, they could time something down below if they want to get a little cheeky here. Team Bliss, that is. Minute drained in the round. Shade now down below, looking to find any wall denial maybe placed here by the Knights. It doesn't look like those Electro Claws are down below, so Shade will need to try and get that drain up red in towards sight. As you can see on the top of the wall there, thanks again to Mandy the Goat. Yeah, unfortunate there for Shade. He mustn't have spotted it, and that drone that he initially got in sight probably taken down. Repic's aggressive. Doesn't quite find the mark, but whoa, Juicy. Got very excited, but immediately taken off the board.
The Juicinator, you do not want to be going into the crosshairs of Repix, who is holding that angle, I'll tell you that much. And I guess he was getting squished from behind, from below as well, so it's kind of, you know, 6 in one, half a dozen the other. You have to go for something. Goes for the higher percentage play in that respect. And now Bliss are looking pretty damn good to close this out. They've got a lot of work still to do, though.
I think they're finally maybe getting this wall open. Has taken a while, so Bliss, not in the greatest of positions, but they could make this man advantage work. We know they love an explosive execute.
But they do. Smoke grenade to isolate split, love that. But Hayward's just snuck into stat, and it's not looking good at all. Knights bouncing back. Todd, what can he find? At least a kill. Now things open up. Jigsaw trying to swing wide, seeing what he can find. Hayward has pushed into Master. He can waste a bit of time here. What can Josh do in the meantime? Can Josh support? No! Bliss shut it down and bounced back immediately.
Yeah, really clean there. Jigsaw and Todd in tandem find the remaining defenders. It looked a little bit dicey there for Bliss, particularly in the mid-round. That single Electro Claw stalled out a lot of time and made that execute so awkward. I love the adaptation there from Oda to try and isolate players using smoke grenades. Didn't quite work out, but did stall enough time, and a really good sweep there from Todd, especially over towards Red Stairs to bring that round back. Really, really clean. And again, that's the kind of environment that we are seeing Bliss constantly thrive in, that execute phase, particularly ones. Honestly, the more chaotic, the better for them. It feels like they are just so switched on, and they have the mechanical skill to back up that communication that we've been seeing from them.
Well, that's the thing. It becomes incredibly terrifying. Now, very quickly, let's take a minute to talk about this. You can win yourself a $50 M-Wave gift card. All you have to do, head over to twitch.tv/Rainbow6ANZ. This, of course, is our giveaway for the match of the day. Once you're there, you need to type in the Twitch chat, Showdown. That is SHOWDON. Oh, no, I've done it. I've ruined it. Let me say that again. Showdown. I'm not going to spell it because I've just absolutely ruined it for everyone. But you will have until the end of round 4, I believe it is. So make sure you jump in the Twitch chat of Rainbow Six ANZ and go into the winning. Go into the running? My God, we're going to get there in the end. Go into the running to win a $50 M-Wave gift voucher. Oh,
Can
Ryan's
you just
not
say
gonna be
that
happy.
again, Manic? I missed that. Sorry.
Yeah, Ryan's not going to be happy at that one. I was the one that fluffed it up last week, and I said, Ryan, I'm so sorry, that's on me. And this time it's on me again. So, yeah. Good job. Showdown is what you need to type in the Twitch chat.
Yeah, Showdown currently available as a limited time mode, has returned, which is awesome. And Jigsaw, I don't even know where he got that kill. Was that Pottery? Let's have a look.
How would you know? He's a menace. It looks like it.
Yeah, it is. Yeah. That's pretty naughty.
To be expected. To be expected from a player of his stature, let's be completely honest. And Bliss now starting to get in the groove, feel a little bit more comfortable here. I'm loving Shade on the IQ and the Twitch. Doing a lot of work here for Bliss, and really, like, quite honestly, setting up a lot of these rounds to, at the very least, be competitive. Round 1 kind of dwindled out after a 3v3, but this is holding a little bit more firm now.
Yeah, Frost being brought this round, something we haven't quite touched on, and again, another operator we haven't seen so far this evening. Does see a little bit of play here and there, though, on particular objectives. Dino only placing one of the mats so far. That's a little bit concerning. I'm not quite sure what's going on there in the prep phase. Would have liked to have seen the ball placed down, but nonetheless, he still has that deployable shield to play off and the shotgun to remodel side. So we'll have to see how much of an impact that might have later on in this round. Jigsaw, meanwhile, rotates back past front door. Probably looking to enter lounge, and he can entry himself. Again, Inox now activated, and he can scan out these footprints.
Oh, Jigsaw's so sharp. He's so damn sharp at this game. And he's just looking to be an absolute cheat. Oh my God, he is disgusting. This man is a murderer of the first degree.
That is honestly just ridiculous. And now, yeah, 4v1 Juicy left all alone on site, feeling a little bit lonely.
At least he finds one. 3 more, and I mean, they are isolated. He could technically start to find these fights one after another. If he hits that, my God, you really have that sense of belief. We called him out at the start of this game as one of the sharpest, but it's Jigsaw who slices through Knights like a hot knife on butter. Jesus, dude, this is ridiculous. This guy is just absurd.
I swear those last 2 kills from him that we saw, he didn't even, like, see them, the frame that he killed them. That's just, God, that was crazy. Wow. How do you compete with that? I don't know. The first one was a little bit more clear cut, good scan. The second was just super sharp shot, and then the final one as well was crazy. Just really well played across the board. If you can have someone in your team entering like that, I mean, that's got to be so challenging for the Knights to deal with.
And it's one thing that we've asked Oda in the past, and oh God, I do not want to see that cheesy grin on Oda's face again when he comes into the interview. He's so smug, you know, he just knows. He just knows he's coming to these interviews. But it is something that we have asked Oda in the past, is like, you know, a player like Jigsaw or Repix, when they pop off, what does it feel like to be on that team? You know, like, how much easier does the game become? And there's been multiple times where players don't even get to see any action because Jigsaw is doing what he does best. And right now, that's exactly what he's done in round number 3. Ah, God damn it. It's just something to behold. I'll 100% admit that, you know, he's a gamer. He's an absolute gamer.
10 seconds remaining.
Yeah, and even when Jigsaw isn't having a huge match, we can see someone else like Repix step up.
Yep.
Even Shade. Literally every player. I'm just going to might as well just name them all.
Oh, you know what? I've seen Todd have a couple of good games as well.
Yeah, he's had the odd one here or there. Honestly, Todd is probably, I think, the only player that hasn't posted massive numbers, but completely understandable. He's more of that support role, so you wouldn't expect him to anyway. And does his job perfectly fine, so not no diss at all. Inferred there. And yeah, even just touching back on Repix, right? Think back to the first round, how sharp he was looking. So maybe Jigsaw's just stealing the kills away from him at this point, not giving him a chance to shine. And yeah, this is where we need to see someone in response from the Knights step up. We know that they have great fragging potential as well. They can win ones just like Jigsaw is at the moment when they're feeling it. We just need to kind of see them step up now.
My device is planted.
That's the big one, when they're feeling it. Gets pretty dangerous, pretty scary, pretty damn quick. Now, clearing from Study is going to be a little bit difficult. You can see now a little bit of pressure being applied to main stairs, or at least they look like they're going to end up forcing Juicy out of position. But he's got the 3 smoke babes in hand and will be able to slow things right down when Bliss decide to kind of push in. And again, another opening pick for Bliss. They love it.
Yeah, really good pinch there. If Shade doesn't get the kill, Todd would have anyway, so really well played. Now Knights will be crossing their fingers and probably their toes at this point that Hayward's Valk cams will provide intel, despite him now being in the grave. Juicy last time playing this position was absolutely shut down, so he needs to really step up and have a meaningful impact in denying at least 1 or 2 players here from Bliss.
This time they've doubled up though. They've got Sage on his shoulder, so if they do decide to push in, there will be support, but it's all going to be facilitated on whether they can pinch or not. It looks like that Study door, the chokehold, is being held quite intently. Todd goes down in the meantime now. Juicy's starting to feel a bit of the pressure. There it is, the switch and bait. Sage peeks on the Repix, can't deal with the heat, and Oda is next up on the chopping block. Or maybe, no, it's not to be. Knights continue to storm away. Oh my word.
Yeah, that was pretty clean from Dino, and I think the one major mistake there that Bliss made in that round is they allowed Juicy to swing, and I could have sworn he got that kill onto Todd in Library. He would have had to swing quite wide. And I guess Bliss just at that moment didn't quite have the angle in response or weren't prepared for that. He wasn't shut down, wasn't traded immediately. And yeah, that put, unfortunately, Bliss in a pretty rough spot. They couldn't recover from there, and the Knights doing a good job to just close things out. And yeah, this has just been such an aggressive game so far. The mid-round is really coming down to some pretty intense just 1v1 Angels, and whichever team's out on top is gaining a significant advantage, and for the most part, converting that advantage.
Moving to trophy and stat now, Knights. This is where we saw Bliss open the bank account in the previous attempt, but not for the lack of trying. Knights, it did really feel like Knights had a pretty decent upper hand when we were kind of midway through the round. Bliss was surely dealing with that utility quite intently. Oh, shade on the zero, man. This bloke is just not slowing down, is he?
This is the first time I think I've seen Zero played all stage in Apex South and OCN. He's fallen out of the meta a little bit. I'm guessing part of that was because he lost his nades. That was quite a while ago though. Teams have had an opportunity to adapt from there, and I'm super keen to see how this plays out. Axe potentially either as a substitution to the Nomad for flank watch or gridlock, or he could play them a bit more proactively and a bit more aggressively, sit down below, shoot them up through the floor, get intel that way. So a couple of different approaches he can bring. Also has secondary hard breach available to him as well. So we know that Bliss, in those execute formats, they play really well off communication and intel, and if Shade can help to facilitate that, accelerate that process, they could look even more potent come late round.
Oh, hello. What's going on here? Hang on. They've caught Knights with their pants down, but maybe Josh might be the savior. Shade gets shut down as he pushes in, Knights, they deal with it handily. Oh no, Oda catches Sage in the wrong place, wrong time. What is this? What is going on, Guz? It's chaos on the site.
Hayward now needs to go up Astro, but Todd shuts him down. That is one of the most chaotic starts to a round. One of the cleanest one-for-one trades as well. It had it all, but Bliss edging out on top.
Yeah, we need to take a moment.
Can we just get a replay of that whole round? Honestly, I think we could. It was over in what, like 30 seconds? We get the replay of that whole round done by the time the next round starts.
Mandy, that was killer. I don't know how you caught all of that just then. That was nasty. That would not have been easy. Just look how insane this was. Like, bang, bang, back and forth, continuing. Like, I honestly couldn't get the play-by-play out because it was just, there was so much happening at every particular second. Like, look at this. What? Oh. Oh, Guz. Gnarly.
Gnarly's one way to put it. Bliss, I don't know how they knew there was an opportunity there to flood site. Best educated guess would be they had a pre-placed drone that saw that stat was clear, and assuming trophy as well was quite clear too. Now, there was a very small window there where whoever was playing mute, can't remember who it was, might have been Josh. It might have been Mawai, I can't remember, it was MP5 either way. Got that first kill, almost got the second, but Shade shut it down. So just, yeah, again, a testament to both teams' ability to just find trades, one for one, for one, for one, for one. It literally went on and on and on and on and on. 9 kills in a row, just absolutely wild. And then really good composure at the end there from Todd to just be patient. He knew seemingly that Hayward had to come up the stairs again, could have been another pre-placed, and yeah, just sat and waited patiently, got the kill, claimed the round, and yeah, that was definitely a difficult round to process, and one that both teams will now be looking to try and move on from. Would have been a bit of an adrenaline rush, I would figure, for both teams. So yeah, now they just need to settle.
The worst part is, this is the first round that I sat down for. I just decided to pop a squat, you know, catch my breath for a second, and no chance. Bliss are not interested in that. But one thing I will note is something that you said at the very start of this match, Guz, which is that they really do thrive on this. Like, they thrive in the chaos, Bliss, and there is no better round to describe that than what we just saw. It was absolute insane. This is disgusting.
Yeah, this is wild from Shade. You don't even need to be on the roof to be able to even throw this down accurately anymore. I don't know how exactly he's gotten it there, but the Twitch drone can now obviously vault in the Crystal Guard update, so you can get a lot more creative with how you want to place those drones, and he's doing a great job in maneuvering them around. Knights not really being able to find them in time, and This should accelerate this round even more. We know last time Bliss struggled to clear those electro claws and open up the wall. If they can, again, speed up that process, that's going to put more pressure on the Knights early.
As per usual, it's Repix looking for that opening, trying to force the issue. Got to be careful. I believe it might have been Sage who was down below in mud, so there is that opportunity. Shade looks like he's somewhat close. No, I've absolutely butchered that. But they have started to move away now and regroup here, Knights. Things are starting to get a little bit closer to the side as they turtle on in, but Josh needs to be careful. He might be stuck here, I don't really know, but he's certainly low, and that could be an opening kill for Bliss that they're looking for.
Yeah, if Knights lose Astro control, he's going to be in a lot of strife, and on low HP, he's not going to win against the swing, you wouldn't imagine. Todd, crouching on the other side of the map. Oh, if he shoots through this barricade, he could almost get a kill, but you can't see the outlines like we do. He'll be kicking himself if he doesn't find this kill, though.
There's two there as well. Todd could really slow things down for Knights if he's able to open this up and very quickly act upon it. They're just waiting. Information gained, information passed on, and then it's all about execution. Josh goes down, and now Todd starts to get into position. Still going to be cautious. There's two players out there. Now he's going to show his face, and that's going to be the kill. No, it's actually not. Dino hides behind the wall. And what is going on? Again, just chaos thriving for Bliss.
Yeah, no drones left though, so hopefully they know where these remaining players are as they go for the entry. 15 seconds left. Juicy finds the first there onto Repix to shut that down. Jigsaw needs to go big here. Allow Oda to try and get that plant down. Oda on the entry with the AK does drop one, finishes it off with the pistol. Hayward and Dino in a good position to win out the round, but Jigsaw goes huge once again. Dino needs to sweep around, but there's nothing he can do. What a way to close out the half.
Two members of Bliss played that disgustingly well to close out the half 4-2 then. A 2v3. Gotta remember that. On split sites like Stat and Trophy, it can be really awkward to make a decision. And Jigsaw really just the linchpin to open things up and just continuing to keep that pressure down. That's the Bliss we know. That's the Bliss that we know thrives on that kind of energy. And now Knights move over to their attack. We do wonder what they're going to be able to put up on the board. I do like to see the Nook, though. That was one of the operators I had mentioned in the ban phase. Villa is for, you know, I'm not going to say for whatever reason. It's obviously a map that you can lurk around quite extensively. But for whatever reasons, teams are really liking to bring Nook to their lineup here. You've still got the two nades as well. So Hayward could be quite menacing for Bliss if they're not careful.
Yeah, Nook has been getting quite a bit of love on a couple of particular maps. Chalet is another one that comes to mind, and honestly it's for quite a similar reason to Villa, right? Basement offers a lot of opportunities to flank around, and Villa even more so than Chalet because it is quote-unquote a dead part of the map. No objectives down there necessarily, and we don't see setup. It does allow channels of rotation for both the attack and the defense, so Hayward looking to play into that. Maybe lurk, find a kill or two, and on top of that, Nook has 2 grenades, so she's not completely useless, even if you're not using her gadgetry as some would expect, I guess.
Not wasting any time here. Knights are well and truly taking control from north to south. Already into Stat. There's some great pre-droning from Knights. It's the only thing that allows them to get into this position. You can see the live droning in front of Dino as well. They know for a fact that 90 is going to be clear, but red is dirty. So they're just going to be cautious on their approach as they continue to clear out. Josh on the underside. This is a really good timing from Knights.
Power of Jackal. We saw it from Jigsaw in the first half. Now it's time for Josh to repay the favor. Now someone has been tracked. I don't know entirely who it was. Ah, it's Todd. Here we go. Over to Woodstock Brown. He's in a pretty safe position now and won't be caught off guard by this roam. Now we saw on the Bliss attacks a lot of focus over towards Brown Stairs, and it looks like the Knights might be setting up for that. Todd in a very off-meta position. Swings wide. A decent trade both ways of HP.
I guess that's the thing, right? It's an eye for an eye. And in the same token, in the same breath, sorry, no harm, no foul. Jigsaw, though, looking to do all the dirty, all the foul on a Josh, but he's holding that angle so tight. Knights have to have this pre-placed. They know for a fact that there's a player in there, but it's just about this swing. It's a Mexican standoff, Josh. He's not wavering one iota, but nor is Jigsaw. This is what we love to see. A little bit of a stalemate. No, not like that, Josh.
You couldn't script it.
What?
Oh, if you don't laugh at that, you've got to cry. Action elsewhere, though, and it's a 2 versus 2. Oda with a Vulcan shield facing top red. He's in a powerful position. Jigsaw needs to try and retake side, and there we go. Oda uses that power position to find a pick. Dino is in the objective with Kit in hand, but he needs to find 2. Jigsaw needs to find another massive frag here.
2 of the top fraggers. Dino for Knights, Jigsaw for Bliss. 2 versus 4, mind you, for Bliss that they've brought it back from. Dino now sticking it. Here's some information. Pre-fires around the corner, and Dino, he closes things out in a 1v2. Disgustingly sharp.
What around there from the Knights, and honestly, if they had have lost that, particularly off the back of that timing from Josh, it would have been heartbreaking. So really great composure there from Dino to clutch it out. Huge from him. Quick replay at the timing there for Josh. Just, oh, that is
That
awful.
sucks. That sucks.
I don't know how much of him turning away there actually exposed him as compared to Jigsaw swinging it. I think it was a bit of both, but
Yeah.
Either way, just super awkward timing, really bad. And unfortunate for Josh, who played that so patiently. Yeah, he'll be reaping at that, but hey, his team won the round, so he'll be happy.
I can only imagine that poor table would have just taken a beating.
Can we get a replay of the?
Yeah.
Surely it like.
Oh, surely.
Okay, prod. End of the day for the replays. Can we get like that timing synced with Josh? Hopefully, I mean, we don't want to see too much, but hopefully just like smashing the table.
I can
there
only
has to have been
imagine.
a reaction to that. If there isn't, then Josh is a robot.
Just watching the webcam just shake
Just
as he furiously.
like an earthquake, like the other day.
If he doesn't react at all, we know that he's an emo Rin style killer. Like that's what the emo Rin would do. He'd die in that position after watching it hard for about 30 seconds and just
shrug.
Yep, cool. That's whatever it is. We love it. But again, that's a great round from Dino, who top fragging for Knights right now, really kind of dragging the team through the mud in some of these rounds, and it's exactly what they need. I don't know how Bliss brought that back from a 2 versus 4, mind you. That was very, very... it was valiant, we'll say that.
Yeah, Bliss not going down without a fight in a lot of these rounds. Playing really gritty Siege, which is awesome to see, and again, just thriving. In the mid to late round, making their opponents uncomfortable. They're not giving Knights any easy wins, which is why they're finding life so challenging right now, which is great for us, probably not so much for them. A little bit of a stressful experience for them, but we do know the Knights. I don't think they're stressed that easily. It takes a lot to tilt this team. At least that's the impression we get from the interviews. Juicy, very composed, and no doubt that energy flows through the roster, who have now been together for so long. I don't even know the last time they made a roster change. It was that long ago, and that synergy has really been paying off for them in the last 6 months.
Couldn't agree more. Seems to just be getting even better for them right now. Dino, gotta be careful, he might be given a free haircut, but Knights looking to collapse a little bit here, put a bit more pressure. Love that, great util usage, deals with what Oda was trying to hide behind the Vulcan shield. Slows things down here, but Knights still have to be careful as they approach around this corner.
Yeah, Oda's still playing it aggressively. The shield served him well last round. With the taken down, though, it's now much more dangerous. Dino, with a higher magnification scope, if he swings wide, should be able to win this pick. We know he is feeling so sharp right now.
That he is. Repix all but flushed out. Good call. Nice nade from Sage. And a 4 versus 5. They now have control of pretty much everything but 90, I think. 90 still might be somewhat contested. No, not even that. Sage has gone ahead and pushed forth and taken any ground that Bliss might have looked to reclaim. And what?
Down below, I think.
Okay. Yeah,
Yeah.
jeez. I tripped out, man. I just tripped out.
Yeah, really good clear
Oh,
so far.
God.
Dino to find yet another here for the Knights. It has been clean. Shade and Todd in the 2v5. Sage lit up. Todd as well. An exchange of HP. Behind the bar, Dino needs to be careful he doesn't get timed. Smoke canister to delay the inevitable. Only 2 left for Shade to work with.
I mean, at this point, this just absolutely has to be a Knights round. Dino. Oh, no. Dino.
Whoa, whoa,
Dino.
whoa, whoa, whoa.
Dino. That is a smoke bait, mate. What are you doing? That's okay. Josh is going to fall as well. Oh, my God. That is so close to the round, completely falling to pieces. If he dies, they've got to reclaim that diffuser. But look at Shade. Look at the positioning. He gets caught out. And Todd, that is pretty much all she wrote in a 1v3. There's going to be absolutely no chance for him back in this. Oh, God.
Deep breath after that round. Very deep breath. Dino just getting lost in the sauce a little bit. I think he was trying to play off the smokes that they had deployed to maybe plant next to model. Then he kind of realized, oh, I'm stuck in smokes. That's not really going to work. If I try and run out of it, though, I might die. So I probably won't do that. And then he got kind of awkwardly caught in the middle. So easy to be critical, but obviously in the heat of the moment, was a difficult position that he found himself in. I was honestly more concerned. It was Josh that picked it up second, right? He was so damn low. He was 1 tick away. If he was in it for 1 tick longer, boom, he would have been dead. And recovering that diffuser, especially if Team Bliss knew it was down, would have been really, really, really tough. So Knights getting away with that one a little bit, but they set themselves up nicely, right? They U2 clear before, that was great. The red stairs nade as well into red pick's amazing as well. And yeah, in a 5-3 advantage, it's more often than not you're going to win that out.
Yep. And that, to be honest, that's the Knights that we've come to know and love across 2021 is, you know, a team that methodically will just tear you to pieces if you give them the opportunity. Not even if you give them the opportunity, they'll make their own opening. But for whatever reason, we've seen them get to, it's always when they feel most comfortable. It's always when they're in a position of power that it feels like they kind of get a little bit overzealous and they just get punished for it. That's all right. I guess it is what it is. Who's on the Warden? I saw it before. Todd. Is he rocking the Chiefs skin? Holy Todd. Oh.
Turning the seasonal.
Come on, lad.
None of them can run the Knights skin either. You can go cop that if you want. They have an MP5 skin, which is pretty cool. Can't remember
Great
what the
input.
other one is, but
Fantastic input
I
there,
kind of
guys.
screwed myself over bringing that up.
Riveting. Oh, God. Gonna laugh or you cry, especially with you casting, I'll tell you what. But Josh, now, inroads here for Knights. He's got to be careful. Player quite sharp and close to him. It's Oda, in fact, but Haywood finds, two. Shade shuts Dino down, but it's all collapsed. Bliss have certainly lost this round. I cannot see a world in which they bring this back.
Yeah, Knights really picking up the pace here, applying a lot of pressure to their opponents in the early round, and we know Bliss love to play aggressive in that phase as well, and they are being caught off guard. Knights playing very clean, and now they have an opportunity to slow down the pace. Oda's being tracked in sight, and no doubt Shade about to be droned out as well. So they'll have a pretty good read the attack on where these remaining Bliss players are, and yeah, it's up to the Knights to just compose themselves here a little bit and make sure they get the job done.
Cheeky beaky Shade, very cheeky. Gets away as well. None of those walls were reinforced. Oh, wow. That's pretty insane that he was even able to be in that position, but Knights just, they're mopping up house. They are cleaning out. And, I mean, look, 5-4, but I have just felt like in the second half, Knights have looked the better. And Bliss are going to get a move on here because things are starting to get a little bit too close for comfort.
G36C, by the way, is their other gun.
Thanks, mate.
Popped
Really
into my head,
appreciate
I
you going on
remember,
the
just in case you
Wikipedia.
actually still cared. I thought I'd bring it up. Which we aren't seeing much play of because Ash is out of the meta and Yana's banned. So there we go. That's why we haven't seen it. All right. First floor dining kitchen going to be the next site of choice. The Knights looking to claim match point. I gotta say, the last couple of rounds have been a little bit scary for Bliss. Being torn apart. Knights with some great counter aggression across the map, finding picks, boots on the ground, and yeah, Bliss not really having much of a response. But I do like the operators in response for this round. They've got Ella, so that's some crowd control and a shield. Todd can place cap can traps around to nullify some of those early rushes. And then you've got Jigsaw as well on Oryx. For me, he is going to be one of the key players to keep an eye on in this round. His ability to maneuver around the map would be incredibly unpredictable. Could well be what Bliss need.
I'm really liking it. That's all kinds of spice being brought. Let's hope that it pays dividends, because it'll be something to talk about, that's for sure. Now it's all on the Knights. How are they going to approach? What have they spotted out in that prep phase that will give them an indication as to what they're trying to achieve? A lot of players here for Bliss just completely on the other side of the map. Knights have a small opening to which they could cut them off, but of course you need all that information to work on. And for right now, Bliss can stay extended. I don't know, I don't want to say for as long as they really want to here. They could really make or break the round if they want.
Yeah, how much is the Knights going to commit to this side of the map? Only one drone taken down so far, so they have a good opportunity to drone outside and really ascertain as to how strong the setup actually is and how much they want to commit elsewhere. First, the E1Ds will be popped by Hayward, aiding in some of this clear. In terms of the operator lineup, though, from the Knights, with Sage available on Sledge. Oh, maybe he's preparing to go up pantry stairs here. That could be a play. I'll be honest, I didn't even know there was a soft wall there, so I'm learning something today.
Yeah, well, there you go. They're definitely going to read. They know that the players are offside for Bliss, and Knights are going to look to capitalise here. They're going to be careful, though, making their way in. It's going to be Todd that finds the opening, quickly traded out by Hayward and Dino. Josh has found his way in. Shade is doing something, holding on for dear God, because Dino now in Sheet's control can cut off the rotates back to side unless it's Jigsaw who you're coming up against. Knights thought they caught Bliss off, but now they're in a hot box. They're going to be so careful. It's Sage and Josh to hold for the remaining minute 30.
Sage does claim the diffuser though, and Josh can use smokes to cover this plant. Sage needs to stick, Josh to cover.
Repix waits for the peak. That's not good though. Oh no, Repix has given him a huge opening, and now Jigsaw, the Clutch Meister, up against Josh. Slowly, bit by bit, trying to claw back here. They've got to be cautious as he makes his way back around, trying to respond to the foot. That is so unlucky for Josh. And that is another clutch in the books here for Bliss.
Oh, another huge round. Jigsaw, he got that key pick inside of Sheets on the swing over towards mid-red stairs, and then he got a huge clutch. Really well played. Didn't even really need to use his Oryx dash ability or the jump through the hatches like I maybe anticipated. He just was able to find, which was really nutty. And yeah, super well played. 5-5 now the scoreline. And round 11, I always say it's so critical when the scores are tied, because if you win the next round, you at least force overtime, at least secure 1 point.
Well, the full regulation is what's required. That's what we like to see. Bliss here have called the timeout. Library is where they go next. Jigsaw, mate, you can just get a glass. You don't have to drink from the goddamn juice carton. Like, I didn't see. That's one of the more cursed things I think I've seen. Like, we've seen Ed Pan with a kettle. Yeah, sure. We love a bit of showboating. Jigsaw doesn't even realise he's on camera, and he just drank out of a full juice carton.
Was it juice in the carton?
What do you think's in there?
Or was it water? I didn't see. I had no idea. Was it clear liquid or was it like orange?
In a juice. No. It's in like the cardboard carton. You know, the ones that he's got stacked up next to him all the time.
Right.
Yeah, I thought he just, I thought he was just a collector of such, but turns out he's just.
Well, he's been a collector of heads so far today. I think he's found 14. So yeah, he's definitely collecting something out here on the server.
And a scalp that they could collect in regulation time against Knights. All 3 points could be a huge boost. Not just, of course, for the roster, but in terms of confidence as well. They've only let 1 point slip out of their first 4 Playdays. They may be able to hold on to that record still. And yes, for Knights, they have dropped 3, So we'll wait and see, because at the end of this stage, we will see whether Knights, the team that really fight their way through the gauntlet like they did in stage 2, or whether they'll find themselves primed as Chiefs have in the previous 2 stages.
Living Library for round 11. Very spicy here from Bliss, so we'll have to see exactly how they play into this. Mirror available opens up some opportunities, and a lot of vert established with the likes of Jigsaw able to punch open the floor. It's an objective that doesn't see a whole lot of play in competitive matches, maybe limited in scrims as well. So I don't know how well the Knights will cope with this. We'll have to wait and see. Another quick fun fact, you know how I mentioned last 3 times Knights have played this map and the score's been 7-1, one way or the other?
Yeah.
The last time previous to that they lost, it was also 7-5. So the numbers are still ringing true in this matchup, which is, I don't know, a bit freaky.
Guess you could say it's a Freaky Friday, Guz.
Freaky Friday with Manic. That sounds like a fun time.
Sounds like an awful time. Freaky Friday with Manic Monday. Yikes.
Has a ring to it.
That's a piece of content if I've ever heard of one. Postseason content, Freaky Friday, Manic Monday. Let's go. We got it. Smack bang in the bag. But neither team really have this one in the bag, guys, and that's what scares me right now. Is it does really. Here we go. I'm going to say it. It's on a nice edge.
Nice edge. I was going to say it. If you did say it, I was going to say it. And honestly, it actually does feel like that at the moment. At any point in this match and the round in particular as a whole, there's just going to be one moment where it's just going to be like, bang, this team's won it and the other's lost it. I'm waiting for it. There you go, Dino on the entry, right? So that could be really critical. Redpix has been having a shocker outside of the first couple of rounds, 3-11 now, and that puts a lot of pressure on Jigsaw. So it could well come down to this, I think. Dino v Jigsaw on the top floor clear.
Oh, Shade goes down as well to the hands of Sage. Oh, Sagey boy. This site is not proving to be fruitful for any team that dare try to attempt it. Juicy sticking the diffuser here. This could be it.
Jigsaw unable to really have an impact. 1v5 post plant now stranded up above. Knights know exactly where he is, and that EE1D will only slow his progression down towards the site. It's a clean swing for 1, but then he has 30 seconds left on that fuse. Progressing through study over towards top round. Finds a second, and you can all you want, but this is going to be a Knights round. Jigsaw, aware of that long angle, drops down through the middle of the staircase. Grenade round rains out. 15 seconds left now, and there's only so long that I can stretch this on, and only so long that Jigsaw can as well. Oh my god. 3 clean kills, but it's all for nothing. We are past that threshold, and there are a couple of seconds left in this round to go, and there is nothing Jigsaw can do. Hayward puts me out of his misery to claim match point.
Jigsaw. Tell you what, 2021 has just been his highlight reel, his MLG highlight reel. It's just been on another level and continuing to show us why he is one of the sharper gamers. But of course, it really didn't mean a damn thing, guys. As you said, a 5v1 with a full defuse stuck. It just does not bode favorably, no matter how gnarly you are, unless you are on site already. That is pretty much in the books. And now as we look at this one, Knights are really posing themselves in the best possible position. Oda 6 peeking onto the clash. Now that's what I like to see.
Yeah, wow, okay. Maybe we'll see a little bit more of a measured approach here from Bliss and playing off that blitz. I don't know exactly where he's going to post up for this objective. A couple of different options. Could play aggressive over towards AVG's side, deny that entry point. Bricks maybe to slow down bedroom take. Yeah, I don't know exactly where Bliss are going to focus their efforts here, but Knights have plenty on their side to counter this. Sophia stuns, grenades, etc. So I don't think they'll find it impossible to deal with Oda, but you never know. He can definitely be annoying on the clash, or clash in general rather, can be annoying to deal with.
Yeah.
10 seconds to go.
Just going back to have a look at past performances between these two teams, and it's always been close. It's always been close. Stage 1, 7-4. Last time they played, 7-5. Now that's a win either side. Stage 2 was for the boys in pink. They were the team that ended up doing besting Knights here, but this one really, I'm so glad that this is coming down to the wire. This is going to full regulation, because it just feels like it would not have done the justice that we deserve should it have fallen short. And both have really been pushed to their limits. We've seen a lot of individual prowess, but this is where you see champions arise.
Oh no.
Oh God, Jigsaw, man, what are you doing? I mean, you say that he doesn't have highlights like we do, you know, he doesn't have the X-rays, but I'm starting to believe he bloody is.
Yeah. Take your tinfoil hat off, Rob. I think he's doing all right. That's so well played, though. Pressure reapplied by Jigsaw, and he was being droned that entire time. Most players in that instance, bang, just would have been dead. And that's great work. He's soaking up Jackal charges as well a lot of time too. So that's such great work. He doesn't get a kill to show for that, no stat, but his impact's still being felt in this round.
Enemy spotted! Second floor!
Patience is a virtue, but obviously it can still be quite a sharp dagger. They see Oda holding bricks, and they've got to be cautious how much time they leave in this, because it could get a little bit uncomfortable here with neither team really bowing in terms of that opening pick. It makes things incredibly interesting. Once we start to get down to that minute mark, which we are very fast approaching, it'll really call upon the Knights and what they're looking to do.
Oh, Sage doesn't quite hit that grenade. So close to taking down Shade. Bliss with their backs against the wall on the south side of this top floor. International take from the Knights. They have a minute to work with. This is going to be a very intense execute. Josh, though, gets the first. Repix struggling in the second half of this map.
Certainly is. 3 and 12 does not bow all that favorably, but that is a big pick. No! Oda goes down as Sage swings, and now Knights are in the driver's seat. Match point. Hayward pinces from the outside, and it's nothing but Shade left in a 1 versus 4 to try and hold on. Knights claim all 3 points in a close match.
Knights shrug that curse on Villa. Really well played in the end. It looked good at the start for Bliss. They were aggressive, they were looking hyperactive, but the Knights did a great job in shutting them down in that last round in particular. It's just such a great display. Pinching out every single player, punishing them one by one. And 3 points in the bank account serves them very well for the playoffs.
Certainly does. The trend continues. All but 1 round is what we've seen missing from 3 games between these teams going to the full regulation. And Vast, love to get your thoughts on that. I mean, it was, I'll be honest, it was hard to read who really had the advantage up until toward the end of that second half. It seemed like Knights were starting to get a firm grip on that game.
Yeah, what a really back and forth game. I mean, in the first half, you know, Bliss looked like they were the ones dictating the pace of the game and were the more aggressive ones. And then, I don't know, just something really switched with the Knights, and they were able to, you know, kind of reverse that and be the ones to dictate. You know, this game was really awesome to see, like, these 2 playstyles clash. It was like just so much aggression was happening. It was really hard to keep up with that game. You know, Mandy was trying her best, but just so much was happening. So surprised we even saw as much as we did. But, you know, from what I saw, it seemed like both teams were really just too spread out on their defenses, and they were unable to back each other up. And it seemed whoever was attacking was able to, you know, isolate a lot of players. And, you know, I just think maybe if their defenses, they played a little bit tighter and roamed a bit together, you know, maybe, you know, we wouldn't see such a dominant attack half.
And Guz, you know, we're looking at this in terms of the collective whole of a stage. Doesn't really have the biggest impact on Bliss or Knights, but it kind of just, it does solidify both teams in terms of where they're going to be sitting in when we come to playoffs. Yeah,
and I think that's probably more concerning for Bliss than it is alleviating pressure for the Knights. And the reason I say that is that Bliss's map pool historically just hasn't quite been there. So the more games that they might have to potentially play in the gauntlet, let's say, you know, they have to play 2, maybe even 3 matches, worst case, heading in to that gauntlet, then that only continues to diminish their chances of actually being able to win it out. Now, obviously, they've had a long period of time between stages 2 and 3 to work on that map pool, so no doubt it has improved. But yeah, it doesn't really bode well for them. Another thing as well I just want to highlight is the stats are up. Repix, he really struggled. He didn't get a single kill after the second round, and we were talking him up. He was looking so sharp, but just constantly, particularly on those defenses, the Knights were just tearing him apart with utility, and he found it really rough. So look, I hate to single out players, and he didn't play terribly by any stretch. It was just a testament to the Knights and being able to sort of target some of these key fraggers from Bliss and really just nullifying their impact, which was reverberating through some of these rounds.
-4 for the entry, KD, the birthday man. Not favourable
Not the best
by any
present,
means.
no.
No, it certainly is, but isn't. I should say. Sorry. I mean, I've got a little bit of banter with Repix, but I don't have that much. I don't have that much beef with him. But let's bring in the Don to have a chat with him. Juicy. I mean, what a thrilling game for us to watch. It seems as though every time you seem to play Bliss in these best of ones, it goes the distance. You know, it's been a 7-4 in stage 1 and 2-7-5 stage 2 and stage 3. Is there something about this roster that seems to push you to the limits?
I think it's just all, yeah, obviously, you know, they're a good team. They, you know, have a lot of gun skill. I think that pushes it a lot, especially. I don't know, it's always a fun game versing Bliss, but I don't really think there's much more to that. It's a very gunfighting and brawly at times for us.
Yeah, I mean, congrats on the win, Juicy. You know, we're going to have to talk about the 1v5 yesterday, and we're going to have to talk about, I don't know, it just seems like when you guys get in 2v2s, it just seems like you guys are struggling to really collect yourselves and just figure out where to go from there. If, you know, if you could kind of shed a bit of insight on kind of what's been happening.
Yeah. I don't know, clearly you can tell that, you know, there's a couple of things going wrong for us in the server at the moment. You know, when we get down a little bit, I think it can go one of two ways. What I did today, where we, you know, pick ourselves up very well and continue to, you know, keep trudging through it and, you know, comms stay up and all that, but sometimes it goes the other way for us where we, you know, get a bit down or like individuals start making bad choices or, yeah, things just start going wrong. So it's 50-50 which way it goes at the moment, so we're just trying to, you know, fix a couple of things that are happening for us, and you know, we'll be back again. We'll be back eventually. Just got to fix a couple of these.
Yeah, in terms of your end to the stage, Juice, you've got order and then rhythm. Is it fair to say that those two games probably offer a bit of an opportunity to try and fix up these issues heading into the playoffs?
Obviously, but you know, the way the rhythm are playing at the moment, and you know, order very 50-50 which one you're going to get. I think we've been through that in OCN. We're still, you know, half going through it where, you know, you don't know which team you're going to get. So I think it is, you know, there's a little bit of time obviously to fix a couple of things, but it's just about working through it with scrims for us, you know, fixing up a couple of things, and just being ready on game day. And I think we're at a good place with both of the leagues and how we want to play them, so happy with it.
Juicy, before I let you go, I do want to know, do you feel like there's a certain amount of pressure on you as the Knights to perform, you know, week in and week out? You know, we do think of you as the best team that we have in this region, amongst, of course, the Chiefs. But is there a sense that there is a bit of pressure for you guys to show that performance week in, week out?
I think sometimes there is, yeah. I think when you're expected to win games, you know, if you pay much attention to it, you can maybe crumble into that. I think people, you know, don't like to either look at stuff before a game or, you know, think too much about it. But there is definitely pressure there sometimes, and maybe sometimes we collapse under it. But you know, we're getting better each week at trying to deal with it, and I think that's all we can do at the moment.
Yeah, that's it. Just go strength to strength. Well, I'll let you have the floor, Juicy, as per usual. Whatever you'd like to say, we'll let you go.
As always, thank you to the support staff, the fans, all mates, and for you boys for the cast. As always, it wouldn't happen without you guys, and thank you.
Much love, Juicy. It's always a pleasure to have you on, mate. Maybe we'll see you tomorrow night. Who knows? It's order, so you never. It's a flick of a coin, mate. We might see, we might not.
Nah, you'll be seeing us tomorrow night.
One-sided coin, maybe.
One-sided coin. Jeez, I tell you what, Buzz, get in there while you can, mate. Get in there while you can.
Got nothing else to say. So.
Well, I mean, look, what we can say, you know, Guz might let you close this one out, but we're happy with that for Knights.
Yeah, I guess. I don't see why you would be too upset. No, I'll give you a little bit more than that. I think as you prefaced a little bit earlier, Bliss has traditionally and historically been a little bit of a challenging opponent for the Knights, and rightly so. They only have the one league to focus on. The best of one form has been really strong. So for the Knights to be able to get this over the line is big. It sets them up potentially to maybe even finish first. Now, they don't have the head-to-head against the Chiefs due to Playday 2. So even if they win the next couple of games, they might not finish first. But they've put themselves in the best position to achieve that. And it feels like finally we can start to hype up Knights form in OCN, which is nice.
Don't speak too soon. Don't speak too soon. One team who we definitely are still unsure of where they're sitting is certainly Order, and they're coming up against Rhythm. It's after this.
At Livin, we are breaking the stigma of mental health. Everything we do is about empowering people to speak up, because it ain't weak to speak. Join us on the 14th of October as we host our first ever giving day, called Giving for Livin. Over a 12-hour period, all donations will be matched through the generosity of our matching donors. This means that $20 transforms to $40, which can provide 2 conversations with a school-aged child about mental health. $100 transforms to $200, which can provide 10 conversations with a school-aged child about mental health, and so on. Donate and follow the campaign at livin.org/givin. Help us have more conversations with the youth of Australia so we can continue to break the stigma of mental health.